Built in the 1970s, the Taylor Bridge served as the connection to the Great White North. 60 years later, the bridge has gone into dangerous territory with some residents worried about using it. Taylor Mayor Rob Fraser says the problem isn't in the structure underneath, but the metal-grated deck.
You can imagine anytime you have thin pieces of metal that are joined together, when you see a lot of heavy traffic and a lot of traffic, more traffic than maybe it was originally designed for, you start to see metal fatigue in that grated deck.
That fatigue causes cracks, resulting in delays and lost revenue for the companies that depend on the bridge every day. A petition launched by the ICBA has gained over 300 signatures. ICBA Regional Vice President Mike Davis says this issue should not get lost in the fold.
We know that this is a project that connects two significant regions of British Columbia. The amount of goods and freight and cargo that crosses that bridge every day, probably millions and millions of dollars.
More than 7,500 vehicles drive on the bridge daily, 30% of which is commercial traffic. The bridge's condition continues to be ignored by the provincial government, despite it being essential to the region's economy.
So you need to invest. You need to invest in your infrastructure and your industries to make sure that that the resources continue to flow.
To view the petition, you can visit the Get2Yes website.
The Ministry of Transportation launched a review in May 2019 regarding the bridge. Their options included rebuilding the bridge or just resurfacing the metal deck. Costs range anywhere from $80 to $350 million. The question now is whether the petition by the ICBA sinks or swims. James Dunn, CJDC-TV News, Fort St. John.
Salon and barber services provided by Skinovations. Be swept away to a world of peace and tranquility at Skinovations Salon and Day Spa.